Welcome to What's Working Daily. I'm your host, Raquel, and I'm just so excited to begin this chapter in my life where I have finally found the courage to start a podcast. And it's something I've been manifesting for a long time and trying to work up the courage to pursue this. And I just want to thank everyone who's supporting this vision and all of you who have already accepted to be part of this journey with me. I will definitely say being in front of a camera is very intimidating and scary, but I am so willing to put myself out there to spread a message of not only motivation, but of one of support. I just want to build something where no matter what part of life you're in, if you hit a bump in the road and life feels like it is just not on your side, I want you to know that there's support out there, and motivation is not going to always be there, but I want to create a space that reminds people that even though it might feel like the end of the world, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And again, I just want to make a community where, we talk about positive things, our aspirations, and our goals in life, and to remember, these 9 to 5s we're living is not it. We fall into these routines and we get stuck, and we're all in survival mode, and at the end of the day, I know it feels like that sometimes, but life has so much more to offer. And I just want you guys to not fall into this trap. I felt like this recently, not that long ago, where it was just, I was very, very sad. And I am so happy that I have come out of that sadness that I had felt for a while. And I have so many people to thank that supported me. And, a lot of it was me, like, people around you can only do so much. You have to decide one day, that you don't want to be sad anymore, and that you do want, to be positive, not only positive, but to strive for things that, feel so out of reach. We are so much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And I just want, again, a community to help each other embrace the strength that God has given us. Something else I want out of this community is for people to be sharing their experiences of what's working for them to get to their goals, what habits routines they have learned. There are so many healthy outlets that feel out of reach, but they're not. They're there, and sometimes people just need to be shown that or reminded that they're there, and kind of how to build up to these routines and habits to help you stay, true to yourself, help you stay positive, and help you feel supported and not alone. And another thing I want to frame is what's not working. What habits and routines do you have to cut out to make room to grow into the person you're destined to be? Rather, that is finding God, finding yourself mentally, physically. And there are going to be days that you might, fall out of your routines, especially if they're new. But the most important thing is to pick right back up. And again, giving yourself grace, not beating yourself up, being kinder to yourself. I think people forget about themselves while we're trying to, again, just survive. And I don't think that's how I want to live. I don't want to live in survival mode. And I want to help people and remind people, again, being in a slump doesn't have to be a forever thing, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This is a platform I'm trying to create, a community I'm trying to create, is sharing what's working with each other and doing things that are on the back of our mind, making time, finding how to make time, finding how to make routines to fit that in. I was planning to do some episodes last month in April, but I couldn't balance between family and a couple other things. But that was my goal, was to have these episodes rolling out back to back in May. So definitely a slower launch than I wanted to, but again, I'm going to give myself grace, and I am going to just get into it's a lot of consistency, but again, it's making room for things I want to put out there. It's making room for good sleep, healthy sleep habits, healthy bedtime routines, and healthy early mornings, productive early mornings, so that I can prioritize not only my goals, but as well as my family's goals. Be a lot of adjusting, but this is something I want. I want to bring you this podcast to light. Of course, I'm afraid of not achieving something I've set out there, but I am going to, again, just not only believe in God, believe in myself, and I know I can do this. And it's just, again, a little bit scary, but I do believe in myself, and I do believe I can bring something to the table for my own experiences, as well as having people on here sharing their experiences. And I'm just so excited to finally put myself out there. Again, this is something I've, dreamed of. And I think the way I'm going about it, again, is going to create a really positive experience. And it's not only for you guys, but it's also for me to keep going in my lifestyle, like keep making my lifestyle better, keep making choices that help me grow into the person that I aspire to be, for myself, for my family. And each day just reflecting on what's working, on what's not working, and not carrying so much weight on my shoulders, and giving some of that weight to God. The days that I feel like are so hard, and I look back at them and I ask myself, did I pray? I feel like God is giving me a lot of strength to go on here and start this podcast. And that's part of my journey too. I do want to get closer to God. I just want to put this first episode out there to make it very clear what to expect on the podcast. And again, I hope it doesn't sound too redundant, but basically, what's working for me, what's working for others, what's not working, daily habits, daily routines that help us reach those goals a little closer each day. And a lot of what you are reflecting on, a lot of what people are reflecting on, to make minor changes to their current routines or current lifestyle styles, or bigger changes so that they can achieve their goal, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal. Sharing what people are passionate about, it's something I think that can inspire a lot of people. And again, sometimes you just need to hear it from someone else. You can hear it from your friend, your family member, and it can not click until someone else describes it a way that makes you really go, wow, I see what they're saying, and I can relate to what they're saying. And I hope that sparks whatever fire, passion back in you. I hope it drives you to go make your life better. And again, if there's something you feel like you can share, I definitely want to make a community where there is an open platform for others to share what's working for them. And I just want to make sure, not waiting for that perfect structure, waiting for that perfect time and that perfect idea of an episode doesn't hold me back from starting. Rather my hair is unruly, or is whatever excuse I make to not to not put out an episode. I want to recognize that and make sure I'm still doing my best to be consistent. And I want to thank people who I've reached out to for, wanting to be part of this. I have a couple co-hosts to introduce you guys to throughout these episodes to come, as well as some very close people and who are excited to share their passions with you guys. And again, I hope this, sparks interest, sparks motivation, and we will break down, throughout this series of what's working and what's not. I just wanted to end this by mentioning I am in the medical field, and what we talk about on the show, what I'm talking about on the show, is in no form whatsoever medical advice. It is not an excuse to not talk to your doctor. It's purely my experiences and other people I bring on here's life experiences of, again, what's working, what's not working for them, to help them reach their goals, help them become a better person. And that will wrap up our first episode. And thank you all again for your support through this journey. And I can't wait to share more with you guys in the future of what's working for me and what's not working for me. And if that's something that sounds like you guys want to be a part of, please subscribe or follow on Instagram and versus TikTok to see episodes to come and behind the scenes of starting a podcast. And if that sounds like something that you guys want to be a part of, I appreciate all the subscribers. I appreciate all your guys' time. Until next time, I'll see you on What's Working Daily.